three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
All right, everybody, welcome to Teaching Crypto's AZcrypto and MrFOMO. As promised, we have a huge show today to kick off the week. Not even a potential hurricane can stop us from recording this, MrFOMO. So take advantage of our craziness. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, help us out. Super chats are available as we don't know what's going on for us this week, but we're still here to predict what's going to happen in the crypto market 6 months from now. That's how crazy we are, MrFOMO.
We're here. Let's get it. Let's crank it up for him. Let's crank it up with crypto this morning.
Let's do it. So, MrFOMO, this isn't going to be an interesting show because you don't like price predictions, but we're going to do it anyways. I twisted your arm, and we're going to talk about not what these coins are going to be like a week from now or a month from now, or now go crazy. What are these going to be like right before the halving next March? 6 months from now. That's right, 6 months from now. So we're going to give you some price predictions, MrFOMO. I'm going to give you the floor first, and you're going to take it away.
Well, I'm going to rob you straight out of the gate.
Okay.
One of your favorite tokens, they changed their name not too long ago, but I'm talking about EGOLD or Multiverse X. And the reason I chose them is because of the low, you can see down here, the low max supply and the high the high total supply and circulating supply right now. I think that's going to be big. Despite the name Multiverse X, they make their name in scalability. They have something like 15,000 transactions per second. Each transaction costs like a tenth of a penny. And so they've really made their name in scalability. But I love the low the low max supply. It is akin to what you see in Bitcoin. And so you have some of those, supply squeeze arguments that could pop up with this one. The volume's a little bit low compared to market cap from where I like to see it, but this is one that I fully expect to get some action within the next 6 months.
I love the tokenomics. I talk about this one a lot. It's been dormant, I would say, social media wise, not a ton of noise like you've seen with some of the similar projects. Like I see a lot more in my engagement, at least. HBAR is getting a lot more run right now than Multiverse X, but Multiverse X, I feel like, is a front runner, and I mean in a good way, not a bad way. Bad during the bear, but pre-halving, people start looking at tokenomics again, and this one really, again, it's a project that's trying to do real things. It's real people. It's not a fraud. It's not a Pepe.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a real thing,
or a Robo Pepe.
And the tokenomics are one of my favorites. Now, the one you did earlier this summer might have similar tokenomics, Quant, but this one,
that's one I also considered too. But I figured I've been talking about them too.
Yeah, but this one is close, and if you look at where this one was, the last bull run, and you can see how well it did right before the halving, and then deep into the bull run. I would say 6 months from now, yeah, you could be looking at a much, much different price. A lot can change in 6 months. And I like that prediction.
The thing about the next 6 months is the crypto market doesn't tend to explode leading into the halving or even just after the halving. It tends to be a little while after the halving, right? And so the only thing I don't like about this, and you're going to laugh when I say that the market cap is a little bit too high, but it's a little bit too high for this part of the cycle for me. Mm-hmm. Their market cap is they're ranked number 51, but they're at about 650 million, and that should make you laugh because that's a very low market cap. But when you're talking about a part of the bull run where the market doesn't just jump off straight away, I think you really need something that has a much lower market cap to really get exponential growth at this point.
One that I want to talk about, and again, this is not a low market cap, and we brought this up before, but I feel like this, we talked about stability, right? And obviously you want to have BTC and ETH. And one alt that I feel very strongly will do very well is Solana. Now, you might say, wait a minute, guys, Big market cap. Yes, big market cap, but a lot of influence, a lot of interest. 8 billion right now, but when you look all-time high, we're looking at 260, and right now you're at the price at 20. Now the tokenomics are not my favorite, actually. Circulating supply is about 408 million. That's not total supply, but it just has done well now for a while. I know it's retraced from 30 back to 20, but what hasn't retraced? you know and I
Mhm.
think this one 6 months from now, you're looking at a price close to 50, Mr. FOMO. That's what I think this one's going to double at least in the next 6 months. And I think pre-halving, you're looking at a $50 Solana. Now a lot can change, obviously, but I would say conservatively, anywhere between high 30s to 50, let's say 40 to 50. Let's give our audience a little more clear. That's my prediction here is you're going to see Solana between 40 and 50 right before, the real bull run happens. And I say real bull run. We've talked about a bull run right now, but really you're getting dressed going to the game. When it went during kickoff, I would expect a $40 to $50 Solana.
Right, and that you didn't hold me down to my prediction before, but again, I would see maybe like again, not exponential growth, but like a 2 to 3x out of some of these, even the bigger caps going into the bull run. Might be something that you could see. Looking at the charts last night, when it's compared to the exponential growth that happens months later in some of these tokens, it's hard to kind of pick apart that 2 to 3x growth that happens right around the halving with some of these. But you definitely could see that, and this is like we keep saying, this is the time to fill your bags.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. FOMO. Give us your second pick today.
All right, my second pick is it's one that you're going to recognize only because of its partnership, right? The token that it works for. It's my second token is a really small cap, and it's called Efinity. Let me share that with you. But Efinity is the multiverse token. It's the fuel for the multiverse or metaverse, excuse me. Fuel for the metaverse for Enjin. And
Nice.
so I love Enjin. I love everything that Enjin is doing with their metaverse, with their games, with the NFT items in game that can go from game to game. They have that multiverse approach when it comes to their games and the NFTs that are created in their games. And then you can also go and create NFTs. They have a wallet, they have NFT IO. And so there's a lot going on with Enjin, and the Efinity token fuels their metaverse, and it just launched on Polkadot as far as the metaverse is concerned. And you can get Efinity, even though it's only a $31 million market cap, you can get it on Coinbase Wallet right now. So this is one at a $30 million market cap, number 459, that I could see this one possibly having something explosive happen between now and the halving,
That's a
just
great one.
based on the fact that they're hooked up with Enjin. It's gaming, it's metaverse, and the market cap is extremely low. They're ranked 459 right now. You're getting an extremely good deal. Not financial advice, but you can get it on Coinbase.
I mean, you're getting something that's under 5 cents that hit $3.36. That's pretty amazing. Now, again, once you go lower, when a Revine reviewer is not financial advice, but you're taking on more risk because these are even more unproven than ones we've spoken about before. But in terms of this one, I would say this one probably has the potential to outperform any ones we talk about today because of the low market cap. And because if it does gain interest, it's going to be a lot of new buyers I've never heard about before. Whereas Solana is going to bring in old buyers, right? So I think the potential here for growth for Efinity is greater than the one I brought up, and that's a great one for contrast. And again, there's more risk involved, but probably definitely more reward involved over the next 6 months. I like that one, Mr. FOMO. Very
Thank you.
good. Now, here's one, and again, I'm not sharing ones that are crazy. I went safe here, but these coins are a lot of people are talking about these coins, so I wanted to make sure that we covered them. And obviously, XRP has been in the news all summer. We've talked about it a lot. Now, some people have gotten very angry because XRP has retraced significantly down, right? We saw it go all the way up 91 cents, come back down to 49, now at 51. Here's the thing. There's a lot of rumored XRP partnerships. Do they really have licenses for 30 states in the United States? Do they really have licenses for over 20 countries around the world for payment? I mean, those are not 100% confirmed, but definitely, again, this is a real project and they're trying to do real utility. Now, the appeal of the SEC, who knows what's going to happen, Mr. FOMO. But for me, I think this one's going to do well pre-halving. I could see a run up. I'm going to say between $1 and $1.25. Now, what makes my prediction a little bit scary here, and I'll admit that, is we're at 27.3 billion market cap, right? Our circulating supply is 53 billion. I don't love that, but I do think as this one does well in October, when Bitcoin does well in October, you're going to see a lot of people jump back on the bandwagon. And then what you're going to see, Mr. FOMO, is you're going to see people pick it back up pre-halving because they're going to anticipate a $2 to $3 XRP during the bull run. So I'm going to say for XRP, I'm looking between $1 and $1.25 here for my range. Again, this is 6 months out, right? So I'm looking for a 2x here with XRP. I'm not saying it might have a little more downside, but I feel like the downside is not going to be anywhere much lower than 45 cents here, even if Bitcoin goes back down. Remember, during the bear, before the news came out, we were at 49 cents, right? So we've given back a lot of our gains. And so now, remember, we talked about this, crypto never goes straight up, never goes straight down. I am anticipating Bitcoin making a recovery at some point this fall. My feeling is sometime in October, and then we will, come back a little bit late 2023, and then push back up late January, early February, March into the halving. And that's when I see XRP doing really nice things. So I'm looking for $1 or more XRP by next March. And we're going to do this, Mr. FOMO. Sorry, 1 second. We're going to come back to the show in 3 months and update. And then 6 months, we're going to grade ourselves. We're going to hold ourselves accountable. I've held myself accountable for the Bitcoin August. I was way off. I get a big F. You get an A because you were telling people that it was not going to do well. Go ahead.
Well, first, I just don't think that the history and the charts don't necessarily show that we're going to have a strong lead up to the halving. But like I said, this is the time to fill your bag. So, take that for what it's worth, not financial advice, but we're still going to chop sideways for quite a while. We have a lot coming through. The markets aren't great. The world economy is not great. You have the BRICS nations trying to take down the US dollar. So there's a lot going on all around the world. And so, I fully expect to see this happen for some of these alts and then for Bitcoin a little bit later into the halving event. But that being said, XRP is one that I fully expect to have the reins taken off, because you see, it's not just this drawback, but it's also the specter of the SEC looming, that they're going to appeal that decision and they're going to take XRP back to court, and that is going to dampen the price a little bit. And so once that all plays out and we get closer to the halving event, I fully expect XRP to be one of those ones that makes a really hard run, because the reins have never really been taken off of XRP with the SEC. So I think that there's still some growth to happen there. So I like that pick.
Yeah. And again, want to remind our viewers, this is 6 months out. Obviously, a lot can change, but we want to, give you some. Here's the thing. I think too many people right now, I'm not talking about every one of our viewers, but too many people are looking at the short term right now, right? They're getting very angry and frustrated. And I could understand that frustration if we were much closer to the halving, but we're still 6 months away. Now, granted, we all wanted to go have Bitcoin hold 30 and move up. Now, really quickly, talk about this for just a minute before we leave the air. The key for me, Mr. FOMO, is to hold 25. Now, I'm not saying 24.8 is the end of the world, but 25 for me is the hold. I'm not expecting a 20 BTC. A lot of people now all of a sudden are calling for that 20K BTC. And in crypto, that's when it normally doesn't happen. I fully expect us to re-grab 30 at some point this fall. My guess is October. Again, we'll see what happens in September. I'm not that optimistic about September. But again, as you said, a lot's happening in the world. Anything can change. An ETF could hit, and then boom, you got momentum for a couple days, and we'll see if it kind of holds. But I am expecting us to get back to 30 before the end of the year and even make a push towards 35. My prediction of hitting 40K but not holding 40K and going back, I'm not as optimistic about that, although I'm still not ruling it out. I know it's crazy. You're at 26, you're calling for 40. I'm saying it's still possible. More unlikely, right? If we don't get to, I think for my 40 prediction to hit, we've got to get back to 30 in October and make a push up. And that's got to happen because I'm not feeling great about December. So, October is kind of that key month for me where crypto definitely and Bitcoin has to make a move up.
And I mean, like you said, Bitcoin and crypto often act in a contrarian way. Like when everybody thinks it's going to do one thing, it does exactly the opposite. And anything really could happen, and it just depends on what news hits. Speaking to 20,000, again, what news hits? If something really terrible happens, I could see people pulling their money and it falling down. But there is a lot of strength at this level. That being said, there's a lot of strength at the 29 to 30 level. So I think that's going to be really hard to break through because
it's going to take a couple opportunities.
Spent a lot of time there. So breaking through that ceiling would take quite a move because there's going to be a lot of sell pressure when we get to that point.
Oh, yeah. I think you're going to have to try 30 several times before you kind of break through. But we will keep you guys updated. Hey, please hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 2,000 subs. We would greatly appreciate if you share this video and hit that like and subscribe button. Like I said, for Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
See you.